Hello, my name is Alex Bandaminit and I'll be presenting about my case study assignment 1 solar panel works and wind turbines effect on the environment. First of all, abstract. This brief premier explains everything you need to know about the solar and wind power, where it's come from, what it contributes to the economy, and how it's protect and the environment, giving you the background you need to understand why renewables are important in our community. For the introduction, renewable generation is usually characterized as more environmentally friendly than fossil fuels, and in many respects that's true. But there is a growing recognition that solar and wind generation have their own impacts, and an increasing number of manufacturers and generators are looking for ways to minimize them. Next, the history of the wind turbine. Early history: the first recording of a windmill came from Hindu book dating back to about 400 BC. Scientists believe that the first windmill created to do work were created in China 2000 years ago. There is no written history of this. However, the first recorded windmills that were created to do work are from 7th century Persia. The first historical references to Chinese windmills was in 1219. This is significant because during this time windmills were used along the coast of China for wind power. Some windmills are intact in Iran and Afghanistan from 7th century. After technology was brought back from the Crusades, early European windmills were used to drain wetland by pumping water. The design of European windmills was based on the water wheel due to the fact that windmills should be put on a vertical axis, when the windmills in Persia were built on a horizontal axis. During this time, the foundation for windmills was set. It was up for the inventors to create new blades and other ways to make the windmill more efficient. By the end of 19th century, there were over 30,000 windmills in Europe. They were used for more than just pumping water and grinding grain. People used them to run sawmills and other industrial plants. Next, electrification. Until the late 19th century, windmills would only produce mechanical power for their tasks such as grinding grain or pumping water. With the creation of electricity, windmill makers found that windmills could be attached to a generator and used to create power for heating and lighting. The first windmill used to produce electric energy was created in 1888 by Charles F. Brush. These windmills needed to produce 500 revolutions per minute in order to power a generator. And now, from the 1930s to the 70s, coal and oil were relatively inexpensive and wind energy lost its popularity in America, though windmills were used in many other countries throughout the world. In 1973, America was affected by the Arab oil embargo. This caused focus to turn towards wind power. The U.S. Federal Wind Energy Program was established in 1974. By the late 1980s, it was becoming very difficult to attract funding for wind energy because people did not believe that wind power could be strong enough to produce the same amount of power as oil. Modern wind power is a strong option for alternative energy, and its rich history proves it can be used effectively. Pros of wind energy towards environment. Wind is free and the power of it generate has been harnessed for centuries. Wind is a completely renewable resource because it is something that occurs naturally once the means are there. Technologically and practically, it can be harnessed constantly without destructive effects, emission, and use of resources to our abused planet. Generation and maintenance costs of turbines have decreased significantly in recent years. Wind power is well suited to rural areas. Cons of wind. There are many obstacles to the optimal use of wind power. Transmission. How to get energy from point A to point B. Technology means storage and containment of power must be developed. Weather. Wind power is highly subjective not only to location but also to climate, time of year, and currents or weather patterns. For many problems, new tower design provide an answer. Noise and view disruption become an issue with communities near wind farm. Endangered birds can be killed by flying too close to wind turbines. Move to the second point in this presentation: solar energy. Solar energy, radiant light and heat from the sun, is harnessed using a range of ever-evolving technologies such as solar heating, solar photovoltaic, solar thermal electricity, solar architecture, and artificial photosynthesis. Benefits of solar energy. Solar energy is not only sustainable, it is renewable, and this means we will never run out of it. It is about as natural a source of power as it is possible to generate electricity. The creation of solar energy requires little maintenance. Once the solar panels have been installed and working at maximum efficiency, there is only a small amount of maintenance required each year to ensure they are working order. They are silent producer of energy. There is absolutely no noise made from photovoltaic panels as they convert sunlight into usable electricity. There are continual advancements in solar panel technology which are increasing the efficiency and lowering the cost production, thus making it is more cost effective. Environmental impacts. The sun provides a tremendous resource for generating clean and sustainable electricity without toxic pollution or global warming emissions. The potential environmental impacts associated with solar power, land use and habitat loss, water use, and the use of hazardous materials in manufacturing can vary greatly depending on the technology, which include two broad categories: photovoltaic PV, solar cells, or concentrating solar thermal plants (CSP). The scale of the system, ranging from small distributed rooftop PV arrays to large utility-scale PV and CSP projects, also play a significant role in level of environmental impact. Drawbacks of solar energy. Firstly, solar energy is free, although there is a cost in the building of collectors and other equipment required to convert solar energy into electricity or hot water. Second, solar energy does not cause pollution. However, solar collectors and other associated equipment machines are manufactured in factories that in turn cause some pollution. Third, solar energy can be used in remote areas where it is too expensive to extend the electricity power grid. Fourth, many everyday items such as calculator and other low power consuming devices can be powered by solar energy effectively. And lastly, it is estimated that the world oil reserve will last for 30 to 40 years. On the other hand, solar energy is infinite or will last longer forever. This is the list of references taken for the case study. That's all from me. Thank you for listening my presentation.